G'day everyone, Jason here with a review of some new pop vinyl toys. So these are all Master of the Universe and they're actually showing as pop retro toys now. So Master of the Universe, so we have King Randor number 42, we have She-Ra number 38, we have Grizzle from the Horde number 40, we have Cobra Khan from, well, Skeletor's crew but then ultimately revealed to be a Snake Man, 41, we have Terraclores Skeletor number 39, and then we have two variants. So we have a metallic Terraclores Skeletor and we have a glow-in-the-dark She-Ra. There is a Grizzle alternate one with flocked Grizzle, but I haven't been able to secure that as yet. So one sort of missing from this round of figures, but let's crack the rest of these open and have a look at them outside of the packet. So first up is King Randor. So here is King Randor in his armor from the toy series. So he's got the armor, he's got his spear there in gold, and it's a gold metallic paint, and he also has the gold metallic paint on the actual crown as well. So if we have a closer look, there is a little bit of a scratch on his eye there, unfortunately. So the eyes are painted and there has been a bit of scratch revealing the skin color underneath. He's got the beard, he's got the Burger King style hair and the crown. And then, as I said, he's got that really nice armor, the red armor with the gold, and the gold is very shiny and metallic. And then he's got the furry undies and the furry boots, and he has his cape. So that is King Randor. So next up we have She-Ra, Princess of Power. So there she is. She comes with a base stand because for the thinner legs. Let's have a closer look. So we've got the mask on there with the little gemstone in a sort of a darker yellow, a little bit of blue eyeshadow around. We've got the yellow power sword and the yellow shield. So this is, I guess, reminiscent of the action figure. And then there's the cape underneath the hair. So the hair sculpt is really nice, and that's in a sort of a more bright yellow. And yeah, so there's She-Ra. So this is obviously based on the toy, and you can see the power sword there and the shield. So the glow edition is the exact same, I believe, but just with the armor and the sword, I think, glow. But we'll have a look at that shortly. So next up is Cobra Khan. So here he is, harkening back again to the action figure. So he's got the wide eyes, looks really nice there. The fangs on the side, the open mouth. So obviously the gimmick on the toy was that you would push down on his head and he would spray a fine mist of poison, which would paralyze any of his victims. And then you used to pull his head off and just fill up his chest with water, and it was just a little nozzle or spray in the back of his open mouth like that. He has the classic gun that's used by a number of masters in orange, and he's got his scaly sort of armor there and the boots. And obviously this is back when he was still a minion of Skeletor. There's no Snake Man symbol or anything on him, but that is Cobra Khan. So up next we have the lone member of the Horde in this series, and this is Grizzle, and he looks great. So the sculpt work on the fur on his head and down onto his body, very reminiscent of the original character. So obviously the original character had like a plastic face but had actual fur body and quite lengthy fur. And then the Horde symbol there on the chest. He's got his arms there, again with a sort of a textured effect. He's got the Horde armband, and he has his crossbow in green, and he has the little boots with the Horde emblem on there. They really had their branding down pat. Like Skeletor really didn't have any branding for his guys, but Horde and Snake Men really branded their characters well. So that is Grizzle. Now he does come in a flocked variant. It would be great if he also came in the dark face variant. So there was two different face prints on the original one. One was a little bit darker than the other. It would be great if that was another variant at a future date, but I'm still yet to find the flocked Grizzle here in Australia, but I'll keep hunting. And that is our lone member of the Horde. So at least She-Ra has someone to do battle with. this round. Now we come to Terraclores Skeletor. So obviously there were always variants of He-Man and Skeletor in the line, and this was one variant that I did love as a kid. So this is a Skeletor with his Terraclores. So the unique thing about the actual old figure was that he had this like crop top, like a little sort of midriff showing top that was in a metallic purple, has a little skull symbol there on the front, and then he had these giant big purple claws that actually hooked over his hands. And look at that, Funko has even put his actual arms in there holding the little handle just like the old action figure. Only thing it's missing is the little connector on the back for the I think it used to have a little bone skull that you could sort of use as a weapon as well, but that's the only thing missing from Terraclores, and that is him there. So he has again a unique face print, but that's because the actual figure when it was released had a slightly different face print to the original Skeletor. But yes, I really like this because this was one of my main Skeletor figures that I used to play with, in addition to the original Skeletor. So that is Terraclores Skeletor. Okay, so the final two figures are the variants. So we have the glow-in-the-dark She-Ra. So exact same figure as before, comes with a base stand, but I believe that her sort of tiara, helmet, her all the yellow on her costume, and perhaps the shield and the sword are all glow in the dark. So we'll charge her up with a bit of light while we have a look at Skeletor. So Terraclores Skeletor metallic. So you can see there he's got a very metallic gold. He's got the red eyes happening. No other colours on the face, but it looks amazing. There's a really dark metallic purple for the hood, and then the metallic sort of purple there on his midriff crop top. And then the skin is a sort of a lighter metallic blue, and then a dark sort of metallic purple on the gloves and his boots as well. So yeah, it's that's the only sort of variation. It's just a color variation, a metallic version. It doesn't really harken back to the character, other than, as I said, the crop top used to be very metallic on the original figure. But that is the Terraclores Skeletor variant. And now She-Ra, as I said, is pretty much identical as before. I'm just hoping that we've charged her up enough with enough light to see what happens if we turn the lights off, see if we get an effect of a glow. So hang on, bear with me as I try to find the plug. So let's see what happens and see whether we pick up a glow on camera. Not really. Might be because too much light around. No, it doesn't appear to be any real glow from her. I've had this issue with a couple of the glow Master of the Universe figures recently. A little bit of a glow effect would be nice, like just to see that it does actually glow. There's some pop vinyls that still to this day, like sitting in the box on the wall of a night after getting light all day, glow like a little beacon. I can follow the trail down the wall into the house of a night when I come home late. So okay, we've given her a bit more juice. Let's see what happens. Oh, so there's a faint glow there. I don't know if that's picked up on the camera, but the camera will try to adjust to it, unfortunately. So yeah, so there is a little bit of a glow on her tiara and her shield and all of her yellow pieces on her armor and her dress. So yeah, so that is the glow-in-the-dark She-Ra, Princess of Power. So that's all of the figures that have come in this particular grouping, apart from obviously the Ride and the Flock to Grizzle. So my personal favourites, well, again, this is going to be very subjective and based on my fond recollections of the action figures as a kid. So I'm going to say Terraclores Skeletor, because I really like the claw action and the sort of the effect where you twist him on the back and he sort of clawed at He-Man. Next, I'm going to say, I think Grizzle. I think just all of the sort of the fur all of the extras. He's just very reminiscent of the original figure, so he's next in my list. I'm going to say the Terraclores metallic is one and the same as the one, like that's the reality of them. Next up would be Cobra Khan, because I'm a sucker for the bad guys, especially Skeletor's crew, and I did love that figure as well, just with the little sort of pump action misting spray. And then I'm going to say She-Ra, because I think she looks really, really good, and her glow variant obviously falls in the same category. And then poor old King Randor gets last place, not because he's a bad figure, just because the other figures are sort of a bit more fond. I didn't actually have Randor as a kid, so I know friends who had him, but I'm not as attached to Randor as I am to the figures that we actually had as children. So there we go. That is the latest round of Pop Vinyls in the Master of the Universe line.